Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over the Adventure deck. This is a really fun deck based around an adventure token. Actually saw a little bit of meta play way back when with the Griffin Rider adventure package, but this is the full archetype surrounding that deck. So without further ado, let's hop right in. First off, we play 3 copies of Water Enchantress of the Temple. This is a card that some of you may recognize from that engine. If you control an adventure token, you can special this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your hand or grave to add a Rite of Eremacir from deck or graveyard to your hand. If you control an adventure token, place 1 field spell that mentions adventure token from your deck face up in your field spell zone. This is great. It's a 1-card starter for the deck, allowing you to get to the Rite of Eremacir, which then gets you to everything else that you need. Definitely want to max out copies of this. Next, we play 3 copies of the Celestial Apparatus Tessia. If you control an adventure token, you can special this card from your hand. You can reveal 1 card in your hand that mentions an adventure token to add a spell that mentions adventure token from your deck, except a normal spell. You are locked into adventure token monsters for the rest of the term. This is a great way to get to any of your field spells. It can get you to Curse of Eremacir, or even your Fateful Adventure if you have not found that yet. Not to mention any of the equip spells that we'll get to momentarily. Really great card. You definitely want to run this at max copies to be able to access the remainder of the deck. I play 3 copies of the Magicor Warrior of Relics. Cannot attack unless you control an adventure token. If you control an adventure token, special this from your hand, and at the end of the battle phase, if your monster that mentions adventure token battles, set a trap that mentions adventure token directly from deck. Once again, just a really great beat stick at 2300, and allows you to search the traps from deck. Next, we play 3 copies of Illegal Knight. During the main phase, if you control no monsters, or you control an adventure token, special this card from your hand. If you control an adventure token, quick effect, target 2 cards your opponent controls, give control of this card to your opponent. If you do, return that card to the hand. Some people played this in the adventure package, but most of you might not be too familiar with it. It's effectively a way to bounce 2 cards from your opponent's field. Really great removal, and it's a 2k beat stick if you don't want to give it up. Next, another staple from that engine is Wandering Griffin Rider. During the main phase, if you control no monsters or you control an adventure token, special this card in your hand. When a card effect is activated while you control an adventure token, shuffle this card into the deck, negate that effect, or negate that activation, destroy that card. It's a really great negate that's easily searchable, and it goes back in the deck, so you can always get it back. I played it 3, but you could also play it at 2 since it's more of a shuffle effect. Moving on to the spells, we play 3 of the Rite of Eremacir. If you control no adventure token, special an adventure token. Then, if you do not control Fateful Adventure, place 1 Fateful Adventure face up in your spell and trap card zone. You cannot activate the effects of monsters for the rest of the turn, except special summon monsters, which is important because none of these are going to be normal summon. You are going to special summon all of them based off their effects once you summon the adventure token. Also a 1-card starter for the deck. Next, I play 3 copies of Curse of Eremacir. During your main phase, special an adventure token to either field, then send a card from your hand to the graveyard. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, special an adventure token to either field. This is just a great way to ensure you always have an adventure token, because your deck is completely shut off if you don't have access to an adventure token. So this kind of ensures that you always have one at the ready. Next, I play 2 Fateful Adventures. This is the card that you'll get off of the Rite of Eremacir. Once per turn, the first time a monster you control equipped with an equipped card or equipped spell would be destroyed by battle, it's not destroyed. During your main phase, you can add a monster that mentions adventure token to hand, then send a card from hand to the grave. If a monster is normally special summoned, take an equipped spell that mentions adventure token from your deck. Either add it to your hand or equip it to 1 adventure token. This is great. It's a monster search every turn, and a spell, equipped spell search, which we'll get to in a second. So it's just a great way to kind of build that consistency in the deck. Next, I play 1 Zarlam, the Dark Palace. While you control a monster equipped with Dunel, the Noble Arms of Light, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. Once per turn, when your adventure token destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. Once per turn during the main phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, you can add one field spell that mentions adventure token from deck or graveyard to hand. This is a great way to protect your battle phase and to get some damage in on your opponent. But realistically, there are a lot of ways to search it, so you don't want to play more than one. Then we play one of the Forest of Lost Flowers. Monsters you control, equipped with Starlit Papillon, are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Once per turn, when your adventure token destroys a monster by battle, you can draw a card. During main phase, if the previous effect was activated, add a field spell that mentions adventure token from deck to hand. Once again, another way to kind of boost up that token, and the two field spells can search each other, so you don't really need more than the one. Next, we play one Dracoback. Once again, probably familiar from the adventure package. You can equip to a monster you control. You can only control one Dracoback. When this card is equipped to a non-effect monster, you can target one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. If it's sent to the grave, you can target an equip, or target an adventure token you control, equip it to that target. This is great. All of the equip spells share that final effect, where if it's sent to grave, you can equip it to an adventure token. So this is a great discard off of Ermatyr, or Fateful Adventure, because it immediately will equip to that adventure token. We'll play one Starlit Papillon. Equip only to a monster you control. If you can only control one. Monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack for each monster you control with a different name that mentions adventure token. Really great way to control the battle phase. This is a very attack-heavy deck, so definitely recommend running at least one. One of the Dunel, it has the exact opposite effect, where it boosts all of your monsters by 500 for each adventure token. Once again, just kind of making sure that battle phase is secured. More generic stuff, we do play 3 Prod of Extra, since we're not too worried about the extra deck here. We play triple Hidden Armory. You're not normal summoning in this deck anyways, so it's a perfect way to go ahead and search those equip spells. One Rhoda for the Magic Core, one Foolish to set up your Water Enchantress. Moving on to the traps, we play a triple Thunder Discharge. If you control an adventure token, target one monster you control equipped with an equip card that mentions adventure token, destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible with attack less than or equal to that monster. Then you can take one equip spell that mentions adventure token from your hand or grave, and equip it to one monster you control. Really great way for some removal, which the deck is kind of lacking outside of Illegal Knight, so I definitely recommend playing this at 3. We do play one Breath of Resurrection. If you control a token, special up to 2 monsters from your hand or grave, with different names, but banish them when they leave the field, and you can equip one equip spell that mentions adventure token from your hand or grave to one monster you control. Once again, it's searchable if you really need it, but rarely are you going to need to summon them back. This way, you're probably just going to search another copy. Alright, that is all I have for the adventure deck. It's a pretty fun battle phase deck, and I really enjoy the concept of battling, being summoned to a world and having this adventure. So hopefully you all enjoy this deck. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.